All right, welcome back to the Gym Profit Podcast. Today we're joined by Abby McCormick, owner of NoBeFit in Pennsylvania. Worked with us for the last few years now, right? 2-3 years, something like that.
Yeah. Yep.
And now launching location 2. So Abby, bring us up to speed. Just give us a little bit of background, and then we'll get into some specifics.
Yeah. Background being second
Yeah, just
location or
on
just the whole journey.
the whole journey. Let's talk about like
Okay.
where you started, why you opened a gym,
Yep.
kind of like where you were before we connected, and then what we've been able to do together over the last few months and years.
Okay. Cool. So opened our first location in April of 2018. Did that. I don't know, not totally by myself, but I was the owner operator at the time, and really wanted to create a place that people enjoyed training at, and I also wanted to create a space where I could help develop other coaches and eventually have a team and help other people have a fulfilling career in this industry as well, as something that I really enjoyed doing, but also recognize the difficulty and the challenges of being able to get to that point too. So that was something that was always really important to me. And now we have a team. We have there's two owners, one full-time coach, another full-time coach, and five other part-time coaches. So,
Nice.
yeah, we've got a full team of, I think it's 9 now. We have a couple people in training, so my numbers are off. But
Nice.
so before working with you guys, we were kind of hovering for several years around 60-ish clients and like making enough money for where we were at, but not for where we wanted to go. And we really struggled to figure out our acquisition and felt really good with where our service was at the, like, it's always, everything's always getting incrementally better over time and always finding ways to do that. But we were really rock solid on our brand and who we were serving and how we were serving them, but we just could not figure out how to get more people to know who we were and join our gym. So
hmm
decided to, at the time, it felt like a pretty big risk to work with you guys, not because of anything with you, but just the position of like where our business was at was like
Yeah.
spending money, but it was also like kind of at the point of like, okay, we either do something differently and figure this out in the next year and do absolutely pull every lever we can to get this figured out,
hmm
or wind up in the same place a year from now and be having totally different conversations around like, is this even working anymore? Is this what we want to be doing? Things like that, which is just not like an
Yeah.
option to me because it's like not what I want to do is be
So
done.
So you decided to change some things, try something new. I think that's really important because it's like and owners forget this for some reason, but the same way you will coach a new client on, hey, if you want to lose 20 pounds, like you're probably going to have to make some changes in your life. Like it's not just show up here, right? It's not just
Yeah.
show up at the gym. It's not just like one little thing. And I think so many owners are just looking for like, hey, I'm going to like play around over here. I'm going to try this ad strategy, or I'm going to hire one agency. And if it doesn't work, like I'll just stay small forever. Right. So it's the same thing the way you talk to your clients. Like, no, we're going to figure this out. We're going to work on it together. We're going to partner up here, and we're a team to move
Yeah.
this forward, solve these problems. I mean, maybe speak to a little bit, like, I think we obviously had some initial success, but I think we were probably a year into working together before we tried a new offer,
Yeah.
like tried something new, and then it really blew up. And so what would you say to an owner that's maybe like dabbling here and there, hired an agency before, like not super happy with the results, and now they just feel stuck, they feel discouraged, they feel like nothing works, they don't want to get burned again. Like what would you
Yeah.
say to that person?
Yeah, I mean, definitely like understanding, acknowledging the fact that it is can feel like a lot of work, or if you have gotten made a decision that didn't lead to the outcome that you were expecting and hoping for, Like, kind
Mm-hmm.
of dealing with that and that experience is important to then make decisions in the future that are more either more informed or like what can you take from that to bring into the future.
Mm-hmm.
And I think another thing similarly with working with clients too is we have to like examine our own understanding of what we're expecting to get from the thing. If we're
Sure.
expecting to hire this agency as a magic trick and a magic
Mm-hmm.
pill that's gonna do everything for us, just in the same way like a client hiring us as a coach and they expect us to do everything for them is
Mm-hmm.
generally not the client that like gets the results that they want, and it needs to
Correct.
be more collaborative. And I think a lot of people kind of get stuck in the place where they expect something to, they're just not aware that they're expecting so much from something that, and they also don't need to like do the work if that may, or not
Right.
even do the work, but and then
Or be
also being
involved.
ready. Yeah, yes, right. And you have to be ready for it to be an experiment. It's a constant learning and experimentation process. Like we did iterations of different ad content, different
Mm-hmm.
offers, like many, many times for a year, maybe slightly over a year, to really get to the point where we found the thing that's still working really well. And even within that, there are still conversations of, is this the right, you know, are there other iterations of this that could be even
Yeah.
better or yield better results or things like that. So I think getting into that mindset of the fact that it is all an experiment and you have to be
Yes.
ready to change things, adjust things, try different things. You have to be ready for those things to not work too.
Mm-hmm.
And so being open to that process to me is really important. And I think
How
some
do you
people kind
think?
of get stuck in the black and white of it. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And what do you think helped you have that mindset with this?
Um, that's a good question. I mean, I knew that we needed to figure something out, so I'm going to be open to
Mm.
anything working.
Yeah.
Is like, and that's just kind of how I am as a person too. Having some like good advisement and mentors of just like, you know, already having the advice going into it that this has to be something that you're actively involved in and you need to be asking the questions, you need to be ready to make adjustments based on what you notice because you guys can't see everything that is or isn't working in
Yep.
our facilities as well. So making suggestions and having those conversations with you guys too was always really helpful, and you guys are open to it as well. So
Mm-hmm.
that's something that I would say to look out for. Like if people are looking for someone to work with, is like people that actually listen to what you have to say and like trust that you know your business, and
Yeah.
not just tell you what you should do to do it better, because you're the one
Yeah.
that's actually there.
This is the most challenging thing with our business is owners come in and a lot of it is unwinding their beliefs about the expectations that they have. So it's like,
Yep.
you're going to hire us and we're going to get you 50 new clients tomorrow. It's just not realistic. Number one. Number two, we actually want you to be involved in the process. We want this to be collaborative because we send every one of our clients your ad videos. Why? Because you are the perfect example of someone that shows up on camera authentically. And that's what actually performs the best for our gyms. And so just
Yep.
zooming out, like, number one, be collaborative. If you're an owner looking to actually solve this problem, be collaborative and have a longer term mindset. And when I say zoom out, I mean, I try to like preach
Yeah.
the gravity of the thing that we're doing here. Like, once we figure this out, you have the keys to the kingdom. You have the golden ticket, right? You struggled for years kind of being stuck at the same point, and then a year in, we found the thing that really moved the needle, and now we're on location 2 and we're about to fill
Yeah.
that up. And
Yep.
so just zooming out and thinking about like, okay, what's the problem I'm actually solving here? How big is that problem as far as like a constraint on the business? Well, it's enormous. And once we
Hmm.
solve that, we're not talking a couple $1,000s more a month. We're talking life changing, multiple locations, growing your
Hmm.
business, hiring full time staff. And so obviously solving this one constraint, if it takes a year, it's still worth your time, right? But a lot of people just
Yeah,
can't think
totally.
that far.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great point. The zooming out is something that I have like, oh, again, like great mentors, and my dad's really good at it too. So I've also learned that from him
Hmm.
throughout the years. But that's so important, is that you have to
Hmm.
be able to like zooming out and looking at the whole picture and being like, okay, these first 6 months or 8 months is a lot of work or a lot of messing around with things, and then in month 12 you kind of like identify a somewhat of a formula that works really well, and that makes all of that worth it. And
Hmm.
yeah, so it's like,
It's
but zooming
always
out really makes the problem, it helps identify what the actual issue is,
right.
and helps with the learning the things rather than just getting stuck in the moment
Well, a
to
lot of
moment.
people are like they think, okay, I want to double my business in 3 months, or I want to be I want to be in
Yeah.
this, you know, crazy new spot in 3 months or 6 months. But you opened a gym to serve your community. Like you didn't open the gym to do it for a year. You probably opened the gym thinking, all right, I'm going to do this 5, 10, 20 years of my life. Is it worth putting everything you have into solving this one constraint on your business, even if it takes
Yeah.
6 or 12 months, right?
Yep. Yeah, and yeah, that's why I also said like the not figuring it out is not an like option to
It's
me,
not an option.
because I just, yeah, no. We're just gonna figure it out and do the things that are necessary to figure it out, and be open to what those things might be, because you can, if you start something with kind of a closed mindset of like, well, this hasn't worked for me before, so I need it to prove to me that it's going to work this time, which is, fair. And also you have to be open to the possibility that it could work, and you could, continue to practice and iterate and like figure it out over time. But having that openness to all of the possibilities and options that could exist and all those experiments and things like that is like
Hmm.
so important.
Especially with marketing. I mean, I've been a marketer for over a decade now, and we had just this last month we ran an offer and we ran a play like a webinar, and it just kind of flopped. Like we spent a bunch of money and it just didn't work out the way that we
Yep.
wanted it to. So it's always a moving target. And I'll tell you right now on this call, what we're doing right now in both your facilities might stop working
Right.
eventually. And then
Yeah.
it's like we're gonna
Yes.
figure out what else works. And so
Yes.
having that mindset as you go into it, that even if something doesn't produce the outcome that you want, you're still learning, because it's like, okay, why didn't this work? Was the messaging off? Was the pricing off? Was the offer off? Was the presentation, in our case, the presentation was a little bit off. It was a little bit too long, right? There's so many things that now we go
Yeah.
into the next play with more education, more understanding of what went wrong there. So
Yep.
yeah, always a moving target, specifically
Yes.
with marketing. So have a long-term
Yep.
mindset.
Yep.
Let's
And
let's
running a
just keep
business in general, like, you're not going to just end up on easy street at some point, because
for sure.
like it's always going to be more things to figure out.
Yeah. And for some reason, people, when they hire agencies, they're just, you know, giving over that responsibility and say, build my business, which is why, like, we say we're not an agency. We're going to work with you. We're going to partner up with you. We're going to be collaborative, but you're the one that needs to do the work. You need to
Yeah.
make the sales. You need to be
Yeah.
involved in the ad creation process. And you even need to potentially learn the skill of marketing, just so that you can have full agency over your entire business and take responsibility for the outcomes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good.
Cool. Let's keep moving. So just bring us up to speed. When you came to us, 20K a month ish. Now we're
Yeah.
for north of 40, and we're opening location 2 about 20 minutes away. So talk us through like that transition. How long did it take? How long has it been? And what's speak
Yeah.
to some of our success so far in the new location.
Yeah, so it would have been like the beginning of 2025. We were still like hovering around the 18 to like 22. Any given
Hmm.
month could be right in that neighborhood, and we have not been under 30 since April, I think, of 2025.
Five.
So a
Yep.
couple months of that, and that was really like when things were ramping up, and then so that's pretty great. And we have, where should I don't know where to go with it. I just messed up. Lost my train of thought.
It's okay. No worries. So first few months, we
So,
figured out the offer. We got it
yes.
cooking. You've gone from 20K a month to over 30K. And now a
Yep.
year later, we're looking back on kind of like when that took off. And now
Yeah.
Bethel Park, though that revenue is 40-ish, north of 40, pretty
Yeah,
consistently.
it's definitely in the mid 30s. We've gotten over 40 multiple times, which is like I didn't even know that could exist. So, and we this month we will again, so that's cool.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
And
But
obviously
all new
profitable.
territories.
Yeah. So you're profitable there. And the only thing that was limiting
Hmm.
growth there was space. We were fully maxed out,
Yeah.
which means second
Yep.
location. And so now we've done a
Exactly.
pre-sale, which we don't really talk about pre-sale or founding memberships or opening new locations very often because
Hmm.
so many gyms like just aren't there yet.
Hmm.
But we've had a ton of success so far. So speak to opening the new
Yeah.
location, how it's been, when we started, and where we're at now.
Yeah, we started marketing in the beginning of 2026, so I think it was right at the beginning of January, maybe like a week or two into January.
Hmm.
And I've got 37 people signed up. 9 or 10 of them are founding memberships, so they've committed to a year already. And
Nice.
everybody else is doing our like 6 week trial offer
Hmm.
and more come like I don't know. There's so many. I have so many calls. It's great. So I think it's a little over 100 leads with I think I have 5 no-shows of
Dang,
all of them, which is what like
that's pretty
every time
good.
I look at the dashboard, I'm like, this is wild.
Yeah.
So overall, like great quality leads. And I mean, that's going to put us in a position to be profitable after a month or maybe 2 months, depending on
Hmm.
how many of those people convert to a year membership after the trial. But based on the like our percentage of conversion from Bethel Park, we can reasonably assume that we'll be profitable after 1 or 2 months, like
That's
relatively
so
easily.
insane. That's
Yeah.
so insane. Because think about how
Yes.
many businesses are not profitable for years, right? And so for you to have such a repeatable system, such a reliable acquisition engine that we've built in your first location, to then do it
Yep.
multiple times over is just so simple and so easy because we know it works. I
Yep.
mean, so many people haven't solved the first problem before they go to open location two, location three, and they're still just kind
Yeah.
of like borrowing resources. What I love about the way you did it is we fully maxed out the first location.
Yeah.
And then we said, okay, what works over here? Let's go, fill this thing up.
Yeah.
And what's
And
exciting about this second location to me is all of this learning of 2018 to 2025 before we figured out the new offer and the acquisition system, you just get to skip that in location 2. We just get to
yeah.
go right to like not only are we going to be profitable in month 2, but we're going to be building a very successful location in the first year being open. The first 12 months, I mean, you guys should be smoking it.
Yeah, yeah. That's the goal is to get near max there within the year, which would be
Cool.
like I don't even know, amazing.
Then we're at location
Yeah.
3.
Yes. Yeah. And I
Love it.
also
And
we did wait long enough to prove that the system worked for long
mhm,
enough before like we didn't
jump
get two
into
or
it.
three months of like great sales and get great leads and then we're like, okay, yeah, now we need to go. It was 6 or 8 months worth of like consistent number of new clients every single month, consistent leads, like really
Mhm.
making sure the process works, not just jumping on like, oh, hey, we had a good 2 or 3 month stint. Maybe let's open
Yeah.
another one. It's like, nope, we did it multiple times and over and over again. So,
Love it.
yeah.
Love it. All right, well, let's wrap up there. What would you tell someone that is maybe a gym owner and they are still haven't figured it out, haven't cracked the code? They're looking for support. Maybe they've hired agencies, they haven't had success. Like, what would you tell that person that's stuck at 20K a month, even less, 10K a month, and just needs to solve this problem but doesn't know what to do?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if they're watching this video, would really consider talking to you and like doing a call with FitRev to see if it's a good fit. So definitely do that.
Okay, step one.
Yep. And then also just really like again zoom out, look a year from now, and if you're in the same spot that you're in a year from now, like how are those conversations different than okay, I just really need to figure this out. I would love to be somewhere else. Is
Mm-hmm.
it wow, I'm in the same exact position I was a year ago and I have done nothing about it
Mm-hmm.
to change anything, or I've tried all of these things but I haven't taken kind of the scariest risk, which might be spending a little bit of money,
Mm-hmm.
more money than you might be comfortable with,
Mm-hmm.
on kind of taking that gamble and just really examining like how much you're ready and open to experimenting and helping like getting it figured out is
Yeah.
really like I don't know, like are you wanting to be in the same place a year from now? How would you feel if that's the place that you're in? And have you really done all of the things that you can do so
Yeah.
far to not be in that position again in a year?
I think especially gym owners, because they're so involved, usually they're involved in the fulfillment, they're coaching classes all day long. It's like very difficult to focus on what's actually going to move the business forward. So
Yeah.
the reality of it is you as the business owner, your job is to solve constraints. And so if there's a constraint on your business and that is, hey, I don't know how I'm going to get more clients this month to outpace my cancellations, you have to solve that.
Hmm.
And the way I recommend doing it is you should be head down focused in 90-day increments. Okay, for 90 days, we're going to try this to solve this problem. Okay, did that
Hmm.
work? No. Next 90 days, we're going to try something else, right? But the reality is, if you're
Yeah.
not growing, you're not focused on the right things. You're not solving that
Hmm.
one constraint in your business. So
Yeah.
if you need help and you've resonated with this conversation, you understand the mindset of, I need to take responsibility for this. I need to solve this constraint. And maybe an agency isn't going to do it for me, but I want to be collaborative with them. I want to understand it. I want to take responsibility for it so that even if it takes 6 months, I finally solve this one constraint in my business. And then, just like you, Abby, we're at 2 locations in just a couple
Yeah.
years of doing this, right? So if you need help, fitrevconsulting.com, fill out an application, and we will see you there. Thanks, Abby.
Yeah. Thank you.